Welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Einstein, His Life and Universe. The 20th century marks the beginning of modernism. This was a time when no one would be remembered for sticking to the old rules. Trailblazers such as Sigmund Freud, Ludwig Wittgenstein, Pablo Picasso, James Joyce, Franz Kafka, Igor Stravinsky, and Arnold Schoenberg were breaking the traditional orders in their fields. Of course, among them was Albert Einstein. He laid the foundation for quantum mechanics, came up with the theory of relativity, and single-handedly overthrew the great laws of physics that Newton had established. Einstein shook up the dominant worldview and the state of physics that deemed to be settled by the scientific community. Although Einstein came up with the famous theory of relativity, it should be made clear that Einstein was by no means a relativist. Beneath all his theories was a pursuit of invariants, certainties, and absolutes. He believed in a harmonious reality which could not be changed by human intervention, and the goal of science was to discover it. Einstein was not a relativist either when it comes to morality or taste. His simple moral convictions kept him in constant sympathy with the destiny of mankind. He advocated boycotting war and general military service, and he never joined the ranks of his German scientific colleagues who preached a just war. Einstein instinctively resisted any authoritative dogma or restriction of freedom. This trait made it easy for him to reject the concept of ether, enabled him to revolutionize the scientific tradition, and remained aloof in both his private and public life. He was gentle and friendly, but unemotional. He was a respectable rebel. Einstein was a great man who stayed humble throughout his life. Serious and humorous at the same time, he is rightly considered as a scientific icon even though he may not be willing to assume that role. His name is a synonym for the genius of our time. His fascinating story is an indisputable testament to the close connection between creativity and freedom, which reflects the madness and tumults of our modern era. The book we are going to unlock today will show you Einstein's personality, his creative talents, and his worldview from all possible angles. The author Walter Isaacson is a writer, journalist, historian, and a graduate from Harvard University and Oxford University. He once served as the CEO of the Aspen Institute, chairman of CNN, and the managing editor of Time magazine. He was also involved in making public policy for the government. He is now a professor in the Department of History at Tulane University. In addition to this book, he's penned several highly acclaimed biographies including Steve Jobs, Benjamin Franklin, An American Life, and Kissinger, a biography. Next, we will unlock this book in the following 3 parts. Part 1, Early Life Experience and Scientific Enlightenment. Part 2, Early Adulthood, the Miracle Year and General Relativity. Part 3, Life Attitude and Worldview. There are plenty of stories about how geniuses tend to be slow learners in their childhood. While some of them are simply white lies, one anecdote about Einstein is true: he was a late talker. As his younger sister later recalled, no matter how often he said the words, Einstein had to move his lips and try them out for himself first before saying them out loud. Therefore, the family maid gave